All right, Friday, happy Friday. Let's go ahead and do the usual joint circle routine. So we'll reinvent the wheel today. We'll kind of go through the classics. So neck. I was noticing this morning that my feet are very sore, like muscularly sore. I'm like, why do I have DOMs in my feet? I don't know if it's from the heavy split squats yesterday. I mean, I've been doing split squats every week. You would think that would make the feet so sore suddenly. Maybe the sled pushing Wednesday night. I'm not really sure, but they're sore. Arm circles. Some rib cage. And we'll go down to the hips. Couple of hip cars. Snap, crackle, pop. And then we'll add in ankle. These always feel good. I always enjoy the ankle circles, even when feet aren't sore. And then we're going to do the prone shoulder stretch series, the P, Y, and L on the floor. So we'll do like 30 seconds per position. Yeah, revisit this one. It's been a little while. And remember, you want to get in the position, make sure the shoulder is retracted. We're trying to get the head of the shoulder on the ground, and then we'll come up and over with the leg to create the stretch. We'll do 30 seconds here at the T position. And kind of ease into it. This is just a prep stretch, so we're not trying to really push new range of motion or anything. We're just kind of letting relax and free up what we already have. Okay, then roll back to flat, move the arm now to the Y position, same side. We'll go same thing there. Okay, and then we'll roll back to flat and move the arm to that L position. And we'll go to that one. And this one, be a little gentle with this one. 3, 2, 1. And now we'll be over on the other side. So T on the other side. And then move to Y. All right, and then lastly to L. And roll out of that. All right, I'll go ahead and stand up. We'll get in one swimmer hover, just the top half. So let's sort of lock the fingers in behind the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades, press back, rotate back into that L position. Arms out nice and wide. The T, we'll come back to the L and back to the head. Just kind of activate that. We got it opened up. And then the last little piece of the warm up, then a little bit of springiness stuff. So just 50 warm up pogo hops. So just basic low heights, just kind of warming up. So knock out 50 of those. Take a little bit of a break. And then we have part A, goes really quickly. Same thing, pogo hops. We're trying to increase the amplitude. So you're really trying to spring aggressively. It's 15 reps, so not a lot in one set. And then I'm going to take roughly 45 seconds rest, and we're going to do 4 sets of 15. So you can go ahead and get that first set in whenever you're ready. Just start normal and then really try to bring the amplitude up. But remember that it's not a squatty jump. So everything stays nice and upright. And there's that really strong moment of tension right as you spring off the ground, and then the full relaxation phase in the air. So it's really like tense, relax, tense, relax, tense, relax each jump. And while you're resting, we can talk a little bit about part B between these sets. When we get to B, it's 4 rounds of some upper body, mostly strength work, but with a 400-meter run kind of interspersed in there, not at full effort, but like just an aerobic pace. So we have a modified press behind the neck, which we've done before. It's been just a while. And we'll have strict pull-ups, if you've got those, and either extra range or ring push-ups if you have that option. So grab the next set of pogos, another set of 15. So if you need to set up something, push-up handles, or if anybody does have low rings or TRX that you can do, you know, push-ups on rings, that's an option. And of course, these could be regular push-ups or elevated push-ups as needed. Probably Probably another set of 15. The other thing you'll need will be your slant board. Or something else to put your heels on. All right, whenever you're ready, I think this is set 4 already, right? Okay, so the first exercise is ideally done with a barbell. Folks that don't have barbells, we'll do a version with the dowel and then also a dumbbell version. So basically, you're going to take the bar out of the rack on your back like you're going to back squat it, and it's not going to be a very heavy weight, so don't worry if you don't have a rack running. And then we're going to get into the full slant board here, kind of cyclist squat type position. And we come down to the bottom of this, rock bottom squat. You're basically just sitting here, and then we're trying to get the upper back lifted as much as possible, and then pressing that stick or the barbell up. So that strong shoulder retraction, upper back extension. And this, even with just the PVC type, you can get a really good opening. So if you have a barbell, obviously, you're going to do that and work your way up in weight, which won't be much, I don't think, but little plates maybe. 5 reps building through the sets as we go, but I'm getting a warm-up set or 2, see how it feels with the empty bar. If you don't have a barbell, same thing with your stick. Get in 5 good reps, really retracting. You can make it very active. You'll feel your upper back kind of contract, and this is really good at reversing that upper slump posture. With the stick, if you have more flexible shoulders, you'll be able to be narrower. A little less flexible, you'll have to be out wider, like more like a snatch grip, or somewhere in between. But then if you have a PVC pipe, then I would say you do your 5 reps there, and then I would grab a dumbbell or kettlebell of an appropriate weight, and I would return to the position, and then do between 3 to 5 single arm SOTS presses, trying to keep the dumbbell back, ideally with at the bottom, one head of the dumbbell on each side of your shoulder at the bottom. So this is a little extra work those of you that don't have a barbell get to do. You get to do the PVC pipe ones and single arm dumbbell ones. So, and this isn't one of those for time kind of things. You'll do your presses, take a few moments to rest, a set of pull-ups, leaving about 2 reps in the tank if you can. So, some maybe you just get 1 or 2 reps. So other subs would be jumping through the pull-ups if needed. Rest a little bit, then push-ups, ideally that extra range of motion if you can. Same thing, as many as you can, leave like 2 in the tank. And then once you've done those 3 things, then head out on a 400-meter run or any of the usual subs at kind of a steady aerobic pace. And then once you're done with that, 2-minute rest between rounds. And that time you can adjust weight on the bar if you're doing that.
How many rounds?
4 rounds.
Oh, okay.
So this will take a little while, but it won't be, it's more like skill work in some ways, I would say. So your 5 SOTS presses to start. Nice controlled tempo. Didn't put any specific tempo, but this one just takes a lot of good focus. Feel like nice upper back activation there. And having the heels elevated is going to be key to do this. Otherwise, the torso will be too leaned forward. Unless you have freaky mobility, it won't be possible. Thanks, Ronnie. Pull-ups. Push-ups, then run. And there's a little rest between rounds, Jared, but you can take that after the presses if you want.
How long is the rest? 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 minutes. Those presses are kind of cool, right? I rather enjoy them.
They are, but they're surprisingly difficult.
They're difficult for sure, yeah.
Yeah, like the first 2, I'm like, woohoo! Suddenly on 3, I'm like, oh.
Ugh, yeah. Yeah, nice. Good. Good range of motion on that, Ronnie. It's good. Pull-ups and push-ups. Two rounds down so far. Perfect. Nice work, Ronnie. I see little micro plates coming out. They're handy.
Yeah, the thought of adding a pound or a pound and a half to each side is much less daunting than the thought of adding 5 or 10 to each side.
Yeah, now, this is an ideal exercise for those little plates for sure.
Yeah. Although I think the ones I have are a pound, 3/4 of a pound, a half a pound, and a 1/4 of a pound. So the last increase is not going to be very big because I'm working from high to low.
Yeah. Maybe adding a half a pound total or something. Yeah, we got all those little plates here too.
They're like paper thin. Uh,
And 3. Excuse me. How are the runs feeling, Jared?
I'm doing some jumping jacks.
Oh,
So sub feels good on my calves.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely feeling the calves.
I'm at about, this will be 65 for the SOTS, which is my last highest weight with this before I check back on my records. So that feels good.
Nice.
That was like several months ago that we did this. So
Yeah, it's been a while since we did this one. Yeah. Yeah, we probably have some better shoulder and squat mobility than what we had then.
both parts feel better than the last time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to be able to do this exercise. Is you generally most people are too bound up to actually do it well, you know, and so they
Yeah,
crunch around it. And but like you guys both have really good, you know, alignment on it. I think most of us can do this now pretty well. More plates on the bar. Ronnie, you can say you're pressing 4 plates each side behind the neck. Sounds super gnarly.
It really does. I had done the math wrong and I forgot that I did the first set with men. So yes, I got to add the final 2 on this last one. So pick it up a whole pound and a half.
Oh boy.
All right. It's really funny to have the plates on there and still have the bar be basically ground level.
Right, yeah. Rogue is selling these little diameter plates now. They have like the green 25s, but they're more like a barrel. So they're only about this diameter, but they're long. But I guess it's for more like range of motion type exercises.
I can totally see that because there are times when we're doing kettlebell work and I actually use my lighter kettlebell because it's smaller.
Oh yeah.
So it offers less resistance, but I can go farther with it before it hits the ground.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it's also a little bit to do with like low ceilings. That would be another, there's so many people training at home, you know, the shorter plates would help a little bit.
That's actually a really good call.
Yeah, I don't know if they make more than a 25. I would think a 45 would be pretty long. Like you take up most of your bar to stick a 45 on there.
That would be funny.
Yeah, solid. You got that. All the plates.
The little guys are rattling around and it sounds like Christmas bells.
Ooh, got it done. That one took a lot longer than it looks like it will when you see it on paper, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was going to go much faster.
Yeah. So part C had one of these little challenge things. It's not really a challenge, it's a skill to mess around with and just kind of see how it goes. So the Turkish get-ups, of course, were something we haven't done a lot of this year, but it's definitely an old classic, right? And you're on the ground and you go through kind of a lunge position getting up. But that's not the only way we can do a Turkish get-up. There's the shin box style, which is the one that we can play around with today. And it starts essentially with the same element. I'm going to have my weight here. I'm going to use my free hand here to post up. And then when I'm in this position, then instead of how we would typically do it, I'm going to draw my legs into the shin box. And then from this overhead shin box position, then I can do that elevated shin box. And then from here, I can take this back leg forward, and then I'm in my lunge and up. And then same thing going down, the knees here. You kind of kick both off to the side. We do that lowering to the shin box and down. So it's basically sweep, elevate, step, up. That makes sense. So play around with that. Just start something light, and then if you are feeling good with it, you can work through working your way up into a moderate weight or seeing what you can do with it. It's actually a pretty efficient way to get up once you kind of get it. Definitely, I would say make sure you have at least some padding, just because that's a. So what happened is you sweep your legs into the shin box. Yeah, there it is, Jared. Yep. Nice. Zoom was glitching a little bit there. Right at the. Of course, it was working perfectly, when you guys were running or rowing or whatever, and now it's glitching out that there's. So you'll possibly find a side that is more limited than the other, especially if you move to a little heavier weight. Once you kind of get the hang of it, you've done a rep or two per side, and you've felt it out, then if you have something heavier you can grab, then I would just work up, just do one rep per side.
Hey, Scott, at the very beginning, when you're on your back and you're getting vertical, should you have a leg bent then, or should both legs be straight?
I think on this one, straight actually works better, just because then you can sweep your legs into the shin box. If you post it kind of like how you would do the normal ones, then one leg is kind of blocked.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. Good save there. Remember on these, keeping the arm as locked out as possible makes it easier and more stable. Of course, Jared, you have your little press you have to do at the top, add to the difficulty there. The ceiling clearing press. Nice. Get that sweep in nicely. Oh. On the sticking point there, it looks like.
Oh, I'm unmuted. You may have heard me grunting through that. Yeah, coming back down into the shin box is kind of where I get like going from half kneeling into the shin box. I kind of have to think that through.
Yeah, you kind of get where you're kind of on both knees at the same time. So let's see. So when you're here, then this foot would come down, and the feet both kind of point this. Kneeling, the feet will both rotate the same way, and that allows you to lower down. If that makes sense. So you kind of want to be in this tall. You get into a tall kneeling position basically, which is this, and then from the tall kneeling, both feet shift to one way, and then you drop, or if you're going to the other side, they shift that way.
So the knee that's up folds towards the inside when you're going back down. That's kind of what was throwing me off. I think I was trying to fold it to the outside.
Toward that side. You can actually do it either side, but it's going to be more easy on that.
Yeah, it feels really awkward to fold it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're doing it the traditional way, like it's super obvious which leg does what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't really do that one reversed. But this one you actually can. You can actually do the get up with it, you know, off the left shin box. You could do it with your weight in the right arm or the left arm. It just has a different feel.
Okay.
Oh, different one. Good for hip mobility for sure, without even really thinking about it. So finally, we have part D, just 2 quick rounds of some range stuff. 5 your basic Jefferson curls. So again, if we've been starting to work our way up in weight on this, and maybe on the second set, we're adding a little bit. And then off of an elevation if you need to clear the ground, or if you don't want to deal with standing on an elevation, you can put your bar in the crook of your elbows. If you've got a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you can bend your arms to clear the floor. Then we've got your basic side bends. These would be these actual standing. I've got one hand on my head, the weight is here, and I'm getting max stretch and then up. And relatively heavy. A good implement for those that have a barbell could just be the empty bar in hand, like if you don't happen to have a dumbbell that's around that weight. So sort of suitcase style. And then the last one is 30 seconds elevated pigeon. I have this set up way down here. I think everyone knows this one. So we're going to throw the leg up on a ledge or a bench and stretch the hip for 30 seconds per side. Okay, so 5 Jefferson curls. Looking good. Good progress. Five side bends. And then 30-second elevated pigeon stretch. Or it can be done on the floor if you don't have anything. I'll start a timer. You guys are set. Depending on how this one's feeling, you kind of see where you're at. How close is that head down toward that foot? And then go ahead and change sides. Looks good, Jared. It's really improved. Okay, and back to the Jefferson curl for the last round. Solid. Some good weight on the side bends there. Good range. Great. And pigeon. Nice. It's legit. Two, one, switch sides. You got that full fold there, pretty good both sides, right?
Yeah, feels great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Three, two, one. All right. Good work.